Foresight, and this is Mikhail Mnasse, producer and host of the show. Tigray is bracing for its upcoming regional elections, and voting day is only a few days away. With me here today is Dr. Tsaga Brhana, member of the Tigray Electoral Commission, to bring us up to speed with the process of the elections. Dr. Tsaga, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
To begin with, the House of the Federation has just announced that the Tigray Regional States Proclamation number 351, 2012, pertaining the elections, and also its establishment of the Tigray Electoral Commission is against the Constitution. What do you say to that?
I don't believe that it's against the Constitution. Basically, the Constitution bases on the interest of the people of Ethiopia, and the Constitution that we have in the region bases on the interest of the Tigrayan people. And the interest of the people is to elect this time. There is no way that it has to be postponed. It has to happen. So we don't believe that it's against to the Constitution that we have at federal or at regional level. There is no way that there is no one who can prove this one. We know what the federal government has been doing, and we know the drama. And basically, we don't believe that COVID should be a reason for postponing. And we didn't see any reason background to postpone the election. So the illegal is somewhere at the federal level than at the regional level in Tigray.
The same House has invoked Article 55, Sub-Article 15, and also Sub-Article 2D to say that this election is illegal against the Constitution.
Why is that? My point is there is no way that we clearly know that the federal Constitution has put it. I mean, there is no way that we have to negotiate on postponing the election. We had many difficult times, and there were no ways that we have to postpone. That's what we struggle for. If a government starts to debate or to negotiate on the day of election, it's going to be like open forever. It's a way of creating undemocratic government as well. So the issue that we have is COVID, and COVID cannot be a reason for us to mention these sub-articles and postpone the election. We have already the information. We have been also watching the TVs, listening the radios, and we have also the live programs from the Parliament and the House of Federation, and we believe that they are not doing the right thing according to the Constitution.
The House of the Federation also said that the Tigray regional state's decision to hold elections and also all the activities undergone so far are to be considered void and that they will not be enforced. What do you understand by that?
That's not a new thing for Tigrayan people in the other parts of the country, that we had a government, a very undemocratic government like the Derg, and the Derg was declaring for its own interests, and the people of Tigray were against to that because it doesn't base on the interest of the people. So we have fought for about 17 years, even though fighting is not a right thing, but if that is the option that you have to fight. That's what we did in the previous time. And similarly, we know that the federal government is using the federation for its own interest. It's not the interest of the people. So we are standing for the interest of the people, and the people are declaring for this reason. So if the House of Federation is saying that this is illegal, we believe that that's the illegal one because they don't base on the interest of the people. So whatever they say, we don't accept it because we have the base for us is the people. The people of Tigray want to elect their government, want to have legal government despite the COVID-19 because it's possible to conduct the election by protecting ourselves from COVID-19. So the illegal one is not us. We did it because we didn't have an option. Do we have to go and fight? Do we have to go to the forest and fight again now? No. So we have to say no using our legal grounds. The legal ground is we're not heard at the federal level. So we'll show that we can be heard even in our place and having our people because the people want to elect. So the government, the functioning government has to endorse the interests of the people. So this is what we believe.
This resolution from this extraordinary meeting isn't extraordinary at all, is it?
I don't know what it means for them. They may have the interest to take it in any way that it can help them. But for us, we said this is illegal. And they can do whatever they need. Even we have been killed. I'm mentioning the previous region because the previous region was beyond words. They have been acting against us. Now they can also go against us, starting, they can ban us, they can also enforce through budget and all the way to taking our lives. So they can take it in any way, but we will pay that as well, because that will be the continuation of the struggle that we had before.
The House of Federation says that it looked into the complaints by some parties like the Tigray Democratic Party, the Raya Rayuma Democratic Party. Which parties are these? And
actually, I have heard them. I have heard about them from the television. I don't know them in person. If they have a base, even my answer is even the same now. If they have base in the society, which is people of Tigray, they have to hear the voices of their people. What are the people of Tigray saying this time? They need to elect. They need to have a legal government. The election should be according to the constitution. We don't have a reason to postpone it. Unless it's a political issue, it can never be all about health. Because it was Tigray which has declared first the state of emergency even before the federal government. So we know that it's possible to elect by protecting ourselves from COVID-19. So it could be any party, even a party that we do not know yet. What matters for us is, are they hearing the voices of their people, the people that they think they are representing? I do believe that it is not, because the places where they are claiming are interested to vote, and we have numbers which are preceding more than our expectations. So where is the reality? So I don't believe there is some medias like ISAT are claiming, and other medias which are serving for the federal government are saying that there are some enforcements over the people to take cards. No, we have enough people. Our expectation was 2.6 million, and we have more than that. Why do we go for extremely large numbers? It's enough. We have scientific expectation, 10% raise from 2017 Ethiopian calendar, and we are expecting 2.6 million. Now it's more than 2.7 million. So why do we go for enforcing people to take cards? So it is the interest of the people. The people have been showing their interest to legalize their government in 2013. They believe that they don't have legal government unless it's elected. And there is no way that they have to postpone the election. We don't believe COVID is not. By the way, I have my personal view. For instance, the increase of the virus was exceedingly going in large numbers since the federal government has shown an interest in postponing the election. That is also, as a science person, where is the base? We know how the number was going. We know the peak was supposed to be in Hamler, and they have postponed it. It's going to be in Hedar, and they are working over the model which can grow the graph into its peak during Hedar. So I don't think that's very logical for me. That's very logical and scientific for me. It seems like it's a political issue, and I don't have the confidence to differentiate these parties from the interests of the federal government. If they are representing their people, the interest of the people is electing their own government. And the people of Tigray are very happy to hear the varieties of parties that we have. And it was also possible for the other parties to come here and show themselves to the people. They are going to fulfill the interests of the people in terms of development. It could be economic, social, or political. To my knowledge, there was a room for them as well to participate and listen the interests of the people here in Tigray.
The parties I mentioned say that there are human rights violations and actions which go contrary to the political rights of political parties. Have you received any complaints so far from any political party regarding the course and process of elections?
No. No, how, when, where, what? No.
The two milestones, major milestones, the voter registration and also the campaign by political parties has ended. Mm-hmm. How did it go?
Basically, it was less than 2 months since we are established, since we are nominated by the regional state council. And these all activities were supposed to be done in 2 years, but we are doing them even in less than 2 months. And the government of Tigray, the people and the other parties had a confidence in us that we can do that, because the energies that we have are not only us, but also the people are helping, the government, functioning government is helping, and the parties are coming into a consensus, because the threat that is coming towards Tigray is different from, it's very, they think like it's going to be, they don't want to put things at the cost of Tigray. So they are compromising many issues, and they come into a table, and they are helping us. We don't have any ground to begin with unless we know the parties and the individual candidates that they want to get involved in this election. So we registered the parties according to the legislation that we have in our proclamation. And then after, we had lots of discussion with them, and we discussed about the program as well, the schedule that we have. And accordingly, we started our job. We have done at the beginning is establishing ourselves not only at the regional level, but all the way to the polling stations. And we have established 3 different committees, and the 3 committees at the polling station are very basic. One is the officers that we have. We call them prescribing officers, and the other is the public observers, and the third is the grievance receiving committee, more than 2,600 polling stations. We have these 3 committees, at least they consist more than 3%. So that's a big number, that's a huge number for us. We have just used the soft copy of it, and we have already uploaded in our website, in order for all parties to send us any feedback if they have any complaint about it. That was the biggest issue that we have done at the beginning. And then was about the campaigning issue. And for the campaigning, we had also a discussion with all the parties, basically with the 5 parties. And we have allocated the time and the money actually for a campaign based on 4 criteria, and that we have agreed, which is very unique by itself. It didn't happen before in the country. And then we maintained about 16 hours per day for each party to campaign themselves. That TV, radio, even the magazine. And we had also maintained 4 live TV programs, 10 hours live TV programs, and there was very strong debate. And overall, we believe that using all the campaigning techniques, the parties have showed themselves to the people, and we believe that the people of Tigray had the chance to differentiate one from the other. Which one is going to be important for him or for her has been seen, we believe, via this old campaign. So we believe that it was successful. And the other thing is the registration issue, the voters' registration. The registration had been made through these 3 committees that I have mentioned before, and we had already the data, and we have around more than 2.7 million voters registered yet, and it was very successful because it is even above our expectation. Because the growth is, the dynamics, what's happening in the country, and that could be one of the reasons for becoming more than our expectation. The people have registered themselves by protecting themselves from COVID-19. They have been using masks, those who can afford for face masks. And we have also afforded alcohol at each gate of the registration polling stations. And they have been keeping their distance according to the WHO criteria. And even senior citizens were involved in the early morning that I didn't believe. I have been visiting some of the polling stations, and elderly, the senior citizens, all the young, female. Actually, what's amazing now is, according to the numbers that we have, the number of women voters is exceeding to that of the men. Because our number is, it's more than 51%. And accordingly, the women have registered for 1.4 million, more than 1.4 million, while the men have registered about 1.3 million. So even the women are very alert, and they are really dedicated to elect the legal government. So overall, it was a great success for us. And it's the success, not only the success of the commission, but also it's the success of the people and the functioning governments that we have now.
So what lessons can be drawn from what has gone so far?
Lessons for whom?
For the people, if it has any signals to send to the rest of the country and the region as well.
So we have shown that people in the truth win. And also the other thing is we have seen that the struggle of the 17 years is not finished yet. And there is, I'm not talking about the blooding issue, but we thought that all issues, the struggle will not be, it was the EPRDF has already declared in 1983 Ethiopian calendar that the struggle using the weapons is already closed. The struggle is in a different way, but now it's probable that it can come in different ways. So that is a bad thing that I can see, but still we can see that the people are in harmony with the changes that we have. It's not only an ordinary election this time, it's unique by itself because it's questioning the sovereignty of the Tigrayan people. It's questioning the right of the people, very natural rights. So it could also be like self-determining, and we don't know what's going to happen even. So we have shown to the world that we are very clear on the standard of our sovereignty. We will never allow anyone to reverse for the success stories that we have already made some 20 or 29 years before, and also the success stories that we had in these 29 years if we are talking of development. The Ethiopian people which are out of Tigray will learn that if people unite, if the government, the political parties, and the people are in harmony, they can win, and we will win. That's what we've done.
Have any observers outside the region come to observe the elections, and how many are they, and their composition, where they come from?
We are expecting many local and international observers, and the international observers, they have started to arrive. There are many interested, and if they don't face any difficulty during the transit at the federal level, we will be receiving different international observers. But we have many local observers from the civic and the civil organizations.
When do we expect the result to be announced? And how will it be announced?
The unique thing is on Pagmen 4, we'll be giving our precious card to the government that we need to be in Tigray, and the results will be collected according to the proclamations that we have during that day at the late evening. And the results will be declared officially, the temporary results actually, because we have to receive complaints as well. There may be some appeals in any polling station, but the temporary results will be known at each polling station the next day, Pagmen 5. Actually, we are using technology as well. If the technology performs well, we'll be in equal speed to the social media and others, because we don't need our society to be confused with the results that may be displayed in the social media.
So is everything in place in the polling stations to make the election, the voting, orderly and peaceful?
Yes, we have basically two main issues at the polling station. One is the logistics issue, all the voting materials, and the places that will coordinate all the activities in the three committees. On top of these three committees, by the way, we'll have also observers from the political parties at each station. They have already shown us their interest to assign at least, one observer from their political party to be permanent observer the whole day. They will observe the process the whole day, starting from 12 a.m. our time, local time, to 12 evening. And they will be involved also. They will be looking at the counting of the cards, the results as well. So we are just putting all the platforms which are needed in terms of logistics. And the other is a security issue. And the government, we are working with the government of Tigray, and we believe that all is in place. And the other is the COVID-19 protection issue. And we are giving lessons in many ways. The people are aware of it, but still we have to remind every time that the COVID is expanding, not because of the election, but by itself from the very nature of the virus. And the election should not be a reason to exceed the number. So we are creating, we are still recreating the awareness of the people. And the other thing is we are using some associations to help the people to keep their lines according to the WHO criteria. And so we have already assigned some associations to work even at the polling station level. So these are some of the things. So we have made all-rounded preparations to the to the election time. So we believe that we are successfully going, and we'll elect our legal government on Pagmen 4.
Dr. Tsaga, thank you for your updates and reflections. Well, we have come to the end of the interview, and this is goodbye from me and the technical crew here.